I was over here a couple weeks ago checking out some vehicles and saw something out of the corner of my eye while I was actually looking at a different truck. As a matter of fact, you guys noticed it too. It's a mid-1990s Impala Super Sport. And I got to thinking, what would it take to get that thing up and running? Let's go check it out. Here it is. I've always liked these cars. In the mid-90s, GM was hurting for performance, so this thing with 300 horsepower on the top of the line LT1 was a powerhouse. It's a big dang car, but it was a powerhouse. And these had a sinister look. They looked beefy. Everything was blacked out. So to me, that's what I see when I see this car. I see I see what I remember about these cars when they first came out. So let's check it out. Let's look. Obviously, it's been under some trees. I don't even know what the paint's like under there. I bet I don't know that paint can be revived. It looks kind of dead and chalky. But let's just do a once over and let's see what we can see. Now, it looks like a Super Sport because it's got the blacked out grille and it's got the blacked out trim. Even though, oh yeah, here, blacked out wheel arches, and these are the right wheels. Disc brakes. These things shares a lot of components with the Caprice. As a matter of fact, the Super Sport, the Impala, was just an appearance package. Even the engine, the LT1 engine, was available in the Caprice. So that says a couple of different things. But let's keep looking. There's the VIN. We're going to look for a certain digit in the VIN to see that if it's an LT1 car. But right here, we'll just go around at the door. Wow. Door's kind of messed up. There's a bunch of stuff. If you look inside, let's take a close look inside. It's leather, not vinyl. That's good. Power seat options. Everything looks like it's the Super Sport. All right, so my painter radar is on. And I'm looking at this mild surface rust. In the first place, this will clean up pretty dang good. But I'm looking here, and I'm looking at this trim piece. Let's take a close look right here. These encapsulated glasses were extremely hard to mask around. I don't want to pull too hard on it because I don't know whose car this is, and they might get mad at me. But what you don't see here is a bunch of overspray buildup. So that, combined with this, tells me that this is probably an original paint car. The truck right here that you guys have already seen, no, not original paint. We got the Impala emblems. Those are in pretty good shape. Okay, so here's another thing to look for. We're looking in here. This is a disc brake car. So why is that important? Well, that's part of the high performance package. Is not only the wheels, the appearance package, but also this has the beefier rear end and it's a disc brake rear end. So everything is pointing towards this thing being an actual Super Sport. Well, the door is messed up, man. The door's messed up. But I did find a door skin online. A company called Classic Industries has a door skin for this car. This rear fascia is in pretty good shape. Taillights are pretty good. They'll clean up. That's the right rear spoiler on the deck lid. Okay, right here. Here's something important. This is the all-telling Impala SS decal. Now these things, I don't know if you can buy them anymore. You guys might be able to tell me that, but this is important right here. They're extremely hard to salvage, and you can't mask around them, so they got to come off. So this is, you know, that's probably a dental floss moment where you can seesaw that off there with the dental floss. Again, it's not my car, so I don't want to do that, but I'd show you how to do it. But here, quarter panel is caved in. Here's another trick. Last inspection I did on the OBS truck, I had a little magnet. Well, this is another magnet. This is a credit card magnet. There's a bunch of different companies that have these. I like these also for checking to see if we've got excessive amounts of body filler on these cars. That's interesting. It's a very weak magnet. Plastic bumper, it's not going to stick. We might have some filler in there. Doesn't feel like it though. Anyway, but that's another way to tell if your car's got Bondo in it. If you're trying to inspect a car to see if you want to buy it or not. So keep that in mind. Right here. This is interesting. Okay, so the exhaust. It looks like an OE exhaust. It's dug in. The tow truck driver did a masterful job of not only destroying the exhaust, but also embedding the car into the earth as he jerked it off of the rollback violently. So whoever gets this car, it's probably going to need at least a new resonator on the back. But hey, it's part of it. So, right here. All this trim is okay. This is not okay. This right here shows signs of being painted. And if you look, this door, these two doors are actually shinier than the rest of the car. So I think this thing's been repaired on this side. Typical collision damage. Heck, this car, it's a 1994, we're gonna see what year it is by the VIN, but it's a 94, 95. So it's had the opportunity to be in a collision, as well as this one. This is a collision here. So I found a front door skin. We can solve that problem. Of course, you got to know how to put a door skin on, but there's no rear door skins. However, this car is identical to the 94, 96 Caprice. So how many cop cars were there in Caprices? So all we have to do is now, and then this is beyond a skin. I believe this needs a door shell. My estimator hat is on now. It needs a door shell. I found one online for 275 bucks. Not great, but if you can luck up and find one at Pull Apart. Pull Apart's got about 25 yards all over the southeast here. Their door prices are about 60 bucks a piece. So check out your Pull Apart inventory. It might even be worth a commute to go to a Pull Apart and see if you can find a door shell from a Caprice. Uh-oh, look here. This one's unlocked. Unbelievable. Okay, so the last truck, the OBS truck, I wasn't able to get inside it. We've got a WASP apartment building. Oh, wow. It smells like old car and burnt hair, but it's all right. Well, that's weird. The hinges are okay. I don't know. Okay, so this had our door replaced already. How can I tell? The hinges. Well, I'm guessing. All right, so look here. The upholstery is actually not in bad condition. That'll clean up. Now the driver's side, yeah, it's not bad. The bolster over there is a little bit funky. And the dash is horrible. These 90s cars, the dash pad, it just shrinks. There's a company called Polyvance that makes repair materials for those dashes. I'm not going to snoop through anybody's stuff. We're just going to continue looking. Cassette player, remember those? I would love to know what somebody was riding deep in this car and listening to. Ooh, we've got the old school treble and bass, sliding equalizer. So this is a Super Sport. This is not a rebadged Caprice. This is a Super Sport. There's a diagnostic port. It's not bad. This car's not bad. Needs a headliner. I can put a headliner in there. I think I've got a video online on how to put a headliner in. But it's okay. All the pieces are here except for the keys. We can have a key cut. In the mid-90s, they weren't that difficult to get a locksmith out and cut the key. So now that I know I can get inside this sucker, we're going to take a look under the hood, because that's really what's important. Before we do that, I did a little bit of research on this car, and I want to look at the VIN number. So the 8th digit on the VIN, if it's a P, then it's the high performance LT1 engine. So come a little closer here. So we've got 1G1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, right there, the 8th digit is in fact a P. So unless the engine's been changed, this is an LT1 car. That's a way for you to tell, even in a Caprice, if you want the Corvette engine, guess what? You got to check the VIN number, and it should say on an ID tag or data tag underneath the hood. So I'm going to guess that this side is unlocked too. Look at that. We'll scratch the paint. It's been underneath pine trees. It's been sitting for a long time. But everything is here. Everything is here. The LT1 had a 140 amp alternator, so that's a good replacement part. Look how easy the water, I'm just going to say it out loud. Look how easy the water pump is to get to. I can probably get to the Impala right there. My LS engines are buried neck deep in a bunch of stuff. This has still got all the smog equipment, dual fans. The motors are smooth. All the plastic stuff is here. That's probably power steering reservoir right there. Everything is here. All right, so I'm gonna check the transmission fluid. Okay, look at the color of that fluid. That is nice and red. Listen, it doesn't smell funky, doesn't smell burnt. Super nice and red on the transmission fluid. That's a really good sign. If you're looking at a vehicle and you can't start it, like we cannot start this transmission fluid, that's a good sign that it's probably still got some life left in it. Here's the oil. You know, even the oil doesn't look bad. Look how transparent the oil is there. It's not jet black. It's at the low level line. I don't care the condition of the oil. More importantly, the lack of any kind of a moisture element in here is super important to me. If there was any kind of a milkiness or sort of like a milkshake, like oil latte happening right here, then I would be wary of this. I would probably assume that this engine needs to be rebuilt. But this one doesn't show any signs. The coolant tank, I don't see any chocolate milk in there either. So we're going to look at a data tag, and it should actually see. It says 5.7. I don't see anywhere. The interweb told me that I would see something that said LT1 on these tags, but I don't see that. But the VIN confirms that's just evap routing, belt routing diagram. You guys might be seeing something that I'm not seeing, but I don't see anything here. This is cool. This car is cool. Now, if I was really ambitious, if I was going to buy this car, I would take that off and I'd start doing the dive. Windshield washer fluid, I should come over here and siphon that out and put it in my truck because I'm low. But all told, this thing is complete. It's a little beat up. The paint is horrible on it, but I bet if we washed it off with some citrus-based cleaner, we could do a super nice job of at least cleaning it up, making it look better. So we're going to do just like we did on the OBS truck. I'm going to go around with my bodywork mind on. It needs a paint job and it needs some bodywork. So let's go around. I'm going to give you a roundabout figure, because what we're doing on these cars is I'm going to give you my best guess as to what it would take if you have the skills to fix it up on your own, or what it would take to farm it out to somebody else to do all the work. So here's the interesting thing. The OBS truck, we were able to price them out between $1,000 and $1,800 for one that was in similar shape. These vehicles, the reason I'm so hyped up on this thing is because they're kind of hard to find. When I did my internet search on, I found prices ranging from about $3,500 for a basket case up into $60,000 for one with low miles on it. I'm not kidding. You can look, and of course this one, I don't know how many miles are on it. Maybe the odometer will tell us, but there's an opportunity here to take this thing, fix it up, either keep it and have a cool car or flip it. So this may very well be worth taking this thing and farming it out. So we're going to start with body work, and we'll go down the laundry list of what I think it'll take to fix it up. So here we go. A couple hours here on the bumper cover. We got a tear in the bumper cover. That used to be a death sentence for the bumper cover. It's not anymore. I can fix this stuff, and I can show you how. There's a lot of different great companies that make equipment, Polyvents being one of them, how to fix a urethane bumper cover. This is a polyurethane cover. I know this from the age range that it's in. So also, the VIN tells me this is a 1990. No, I'm gonna look at the door tag. Anyway, so we've got 2-hour dent there. The door, we're either going to get a $60 door from Pull Apart or a $110 door skin from Classic Industries. We need a handle. Okay, tag on the door, I can still read it. It says 1995, so now we know the year range. Another 2, 4, probably 5 hours labor on this door. Not too bad. This quarter panel, in good shape, except for right there. Another, I'm gonna say another 4-hour dent right there. Trunk lid, put my Ray Charles vision on. I don't feel any dents. We got no body work on the deck lid. A little bit of busted paint right here, but the rear fascia is in very nice shape. Trunk lid is in very nice shape. All the emblems are there. A little bit of paint work, even a Sharpie could straighten that up. Tail lights are in good shape because these are different than a Caprice, I believe. So we're in good shape so far. Here, I'm gonna say we got about a 6-hour dent right here. But hey, if you can bone up on your bodywork skills, or you got a buddy that's good at bodywork, you can fix all of this stuff. I believe we're gonna need a door shell here. Like I said, I found one for $275 on eBay, or if we luck up and get a Caprice donor car out of Pull Apart, we can find an old retired police car, then we can get a complete door and we'll be good to go there. Does it? No, it's locked in the back. This one, it's a little far gone. That's okay. I can pull this out, but typically, here's my rule. If I'm body working any more than one style line in a panel, I'm gonna go ahead and either skin the door or get a complete shell. So I've got a style line here, another one here, it's bashed in there. There's a style line across here, it scoops in there, and it's caved in there. So my rule, I'm out. I'm out. Can I body work this? Sure I can. If there was no door skin available, I would go ahead and just fix that door. But we need a skin here. So again, another $110 skin from our friends at Classic Industries. Mirrors are okay. I think the hood is good. I'm robbed of the ability to see any kind of reflection, but I don't see any dents. So I think we're in good shape. This thing, as rough as it looks, is not as bad as it looks. Does that make any sense at all? The windshield is probably worn out. And what I mean by worn out is years and years of impacts hitting the glass. Glass is not as hard as we think it is. And it takes on the little impact chips, and that's why it's harder to see at night with an old windshield, because we get all that refraction from traffic lights and other oncoming headlights and things like that. So a windshield will actually wear out. But this one, there's no cracks, there's no chips in it. So I think we're in good shape. So, there we go. From a DIY perspective, if you've got some skills and you can take on some body work and paint work and changing out some parts here and there, here's what I think you can fix this car up as and have a super nice, super sport daily driver car. So I'm gonna pad the lowest price I found to buy one of these cars in rough shape. So let's say $4,000 for the car. Body work is gonna take you about 35 hours if you're pretty good. That includes 7 hours for each door skin and changing the right rear door shell, miscellaneous body work, fixing the bumpers, spoiler, and the rocker panel under the right rear door that I forgot to mention. Once the body is fixed, add another 15 hours to strip and reprime the top surfaces that weren't body damaged and take care of that flaking paint and the surface rust. Then you're ready for a paint job, which is going to be another 15 hours to sand, prep, and shoot the paint. So we're all in on labor to the tune of about 65 hours repair time. Bodywork materials, I'm guessing about $600 for filler and high build primer. Paint and materials, including masking supplies, sealer, color, and clear, add another $1,500 since black is a little less expensive color to buy. For parts, we're going to add carpet for $250, a rear door for $275, quarter panel emblems, I found a set for $120, headliners about $300, 2 door skins, $250 for both, a driver's door handle was about $75, to get keys cut by a locksmith, about $300. An exhaust resonator, about $100, a battery, $150, battery trays, another $40. It needs tires, so another $600 for a set mounted balanced. That gives us about $2,500 in parts to buy. For mechanical, I'm just going to guess at about $1,000 to get it running and a weekend's worth of stress and wrenching. That'll cover plug wires, ignition, and maybe some brake pads and rotors too, and some just-in-case stuff, since all you guys told me on the last one that I'm undervaluing parts prices, so we'll jack it up a little bit. All in, $4 grand for the car. I'm guessing 80 to 85 hours of labor, $2,500 in parts, $1 grand to get her running, and about $2 grand in paint and body materials. That brings my estimate to about 80 hours and $8,500 to get this thing back in good shape. Now, if you're just looking for an investment car, you really want one of these cars, and you don't have the DIY skills to do the work yourself, here's what I think it'll take to get this thing back up and running again, farming it out, outsourcing the paint job, maybe some mechanical work, and getting it back up and running again into a nice daily driven car. So we're still buying the car for about $4 grand. Body labor is going to be about $4 grand if we take the estimated time and multiply it by $100 an hour just to make it simple. Body repair materials, about $750 with markup. Paint job is going to run 8 to 10 grand depending on where you take it and what paint you want them to use. So to get it slick again, think about outsourcing about $15,000. Parts, take that $2,500 and add 25% for markup at least. That makes it about $3,200. To get it running, consider about $1,500 for parts and labor to go through the systems and check everything and get it running good. But that's assuming that everything is pretty good mechanically, which our fluids told us, and it may very well be in really good shape mechanically. So that's $4 grand for the car, 15 grand to make it smooth and shiny, $3,200 for parts, and guessing about $1,500 to get it running good. So overall, you're looking at about $24,000, which is actually pretty close to the average prices I found online for nice versions of this car. Now, we don't know the mileage on it. If we got lucky and this was a low mileage car, the price goes up. So it may very well be worth farming it out. Consider this also. These cars are getting more and more sought after, and they're getting rarer as time goes on. So the value of this car, once you get it slick and shiny and fixed up and running great, it's going to go up. Whether you're doing it yourself or outsourcing it, remember, add 10%. You're going to find stuff that you didn't see in the first place, and you're going to be surprised. Just get used to it. Add 10% off of whatever your best guess is or your best estimate is in reviving any vehicle. So my best opinion is a DIY option is right about here, and an outsourced option is somewhere in around this range. Either way, if you play your cards right, this could actually be one of those unicorns that is an investment vehicle. So for what it's worth, I don't know. We've all got opinions about what cars are cool. The mid-90s was not great for high performance. Just after that, yeah, it was a turning point in automotive evolution and automotive high performance from the OE perspective. But this was just the beginning of it. For me, it's a cool car and it's worth fixing up. So what do you guys think? Hey, thanks for watching another Paintucation episode. If you like what you watched, throw some comments down below. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. In the meantime, if you've got a vehicle that you want me to give my best opinion on what it'll take to get it up and running again, let me know. Throw it in a comment. See you on the next one.